The Wixáricas, known in Spanish as Huichol, are an ethnic group that currently live in northern of Jalisco and part of Nayarit, Zacatecas, and Durango, above the mountain range that crosses these states. Still preserve very old customs, of which they are very proud. What most distinguishes them from other groups are their unique handicraft and use of peyote.
Huicholes cultivate corn, beans, and zucchini. They also breed cows and sheep. Handicrafts are made by Huicholes and Coras, who live in the Sierra Madre Occidental. These are beautiful figures that represent sun goddess, rain, and other gods and goddesses that are common in the region.
Regarding its technique, they have the crystal chakira, one of the most common techniques in Huichol art, where they use plastic chakira or crystal chakira and they press it with the traditional technique of Campeche wax. They create symbols that narrate their cosmovision, but they also use the stamen, made in the same way as the chakira art. As for their religion, they have strong nativist and animist beliefs, that is, with pre-Hispanic religious roots and less influence from Catholicism. And their traditional spirituality includes the collection and consumption of peyote. But what is the peyote? But what is the peyote?
The peyote, a green-colored button plant that is known for its content of psychoactive alkaloids, among them the mescaline, mostly responsible for its hallucinogenic effects such as despersonalization, loss of temporal perception, disappearance of ego, and every kind of hallucinations. In the Huichol culture, the icuro or peyote is seen as some substance that cleanses the soul and spirit. By ingesting it, they connect with their interior self. They can observe their past and detect what is damaging or harming them.
The commercialization of their art is a very important issue for them, as it is their main source of income.
Como artesanías, trabajos de manta, trabajos de hilo, trabajos de shakira, trabajos de madera, trabajos de, ¿cómo se llama?, de telas para bordar, y pues no, con eso es con lo que nos hemos mantenido nosotros toda la vida, y pues estamos trabajando, ¿verdad?
So, this kind of acts began when a Franciscan priest by the name of Ernesto Lorera Ochoa started a Huichol museum in the Basilica of Our Lady of Zapopan, north of Guadalajara. One of the artists exhibited here was Ramon Medina Silver, whose works were displayed and sold in the museum. However, the production of items for the commercial market has caused a certain amount of controversy. One issue concerns to authenticity. This leads to the situation of globalization, which has had both positive and negative aspects. One of its disadvantages may be the way in which indigenous groups are viewed in general.
And cultures throughout the world have made efforts, in many cases successfully, to erase cultural differences, trying to incorporate the different ones. The tendency to homogenize cultures and behavior patterns rather than promoting development have given rise to the exclusion of indigenous people.
A clear example of this is what happened in a study of 101,050 people, where they answered to the question,
What's the first thing that comes to your mind when someone mentions indigenous people? This is what most people answered. 33% poverty, 9% discrimination, and 7% origins. Out of the three most common answers, only one is positive. We can find four determining factors of the image we commonly have over indigenous people in Mexico. Number 1. Vague information, myths, misunderstandings, and doubts. Number 2. They are stigmatized in various ways. Number 3. Few touch points. The most significant touch points tend to be from a power or superiority, like as a tourist, as a buyer from their products, as someone helping them with some coins. And number 4. Their estimate is not updated.
And this leads to another negative point of globalization: appropriation. So we have the Dyer case and the Nike case. These two companies had almost taken over the visual art designs without giving much credit and without retribution of any kind, but only for capitalistic purposes. Other points are favorable, focus more on the good diffusion of their art, like the murals at Lindbergh International Airport in Terminal 3 and the visual bedward mural in the Paris Metro at the Palais Royal. And there is a foundation, the Ijari Alba Foundation, a civil association in charge of promoting high-impact social programs for the Wizarika, which whole community through the distribution and diffusion of their art. In addition, FIA seeks to be a source of work for Wizarika artisans to promote and disseminate their culture through their collections. They also intend to build educational spaces for the communities. To conclude, a reflection on its importance in our culture.
Indigenous people contribute sustainable development goals. His vision of the territories is vital to face the current climate crisis and support the government and other international commitments. They are the case in the process of wildlife conservation and the reduction of threats such as deforestation. Maintaining the carbon reserves of these forests is essential in the fight against climate change. Without indigenous reservation, it is impossible to guarantee connectivity between the protected areas of the region.